Hi, so this is the last of 3 little tutorials on basic learn to knit skills, and we've already covered 2 introductory ways to cast on. We've covered how to knit and also how to purl, so we know how to do garter stitch and we know how to do stocking stitch, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to cast off. So to cast off you usually knit 2 stitches to begin with, so I'm going to knit, which you should remember, we go in from the front to the back and from right to left with the right hand needle, knit the first stitch, so off it goes, and then knit the second stitch. So now I have all the other stitches here on the left hand needle, and I've got 2 stitches here on the right hand needle. So I now need to cast one of these off. So what you do is you take the left hand needle tip and you put it into the first stitch, effectively the one that's not near the tip. You put it in there and then you lift it over the second stitch. So you've cast one stitch off now. So I'm down to 1 stitch on the right hand needle, and all the other stitches that need casting off are still on the left hand needle. So now I need to get one of these over here, so I'm going to knit it. Again, I've got 2 stitches on the right hand needle, so I'm going to stick the left hand needle tip into the second of those stitches and lift it off and over the stitch beside it. So now I've cast off 2 stitches, and you can see them here like a little chain. So now we knit another stitch. Again, I've got 2 stitches here, but the number on this line is going down. Pop the left hand needle tip into there and pull it over the top of the stitch next to it. So now I've cast off 3 stitches. I'm going to continue doing this until I get to the very end, and then I'll show you how you fasten off that last stitch. You keep on doing this, and the secret to casting on and casting off, really, especially casting off, is not to pull it really tight, because if you pull it really tight in the cast off, the last line really that you knit, it will affect the shape of it at the bottom, and it can spoil it. So it's hard to do that when you first start to knit. Most people, when they begin knitting or resume knitting after a gap, end up with a quite tight knitting or casting off. But I've got to my last stitch now, so what I would then do would be to pull that stitch so it's really long, and then take the working yarn through there and just tighten it up. I would cut that yarn now. I don't want to do that because I don't want to waste it. And then you would tighten it up, and you'd have a tail here and a tail there, and that line of stitches is cast off, and that's how a cast off line looks when you cast off that way.